Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe it's less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering the magic in life. I'm Ryan Buck, your Lincoln, Nebraska, Edward Jones financial advisor. Count on me for your financial strategies that can help support a life you love. Because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. Contact me today at 402-483-0377. Again, that's 402-483-0377. And let's find you rich. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic, February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines. Now boarding. Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
It's been a busy day in sports. A lot has happened while you were up to your eyeballs in work. Catch up on what went down in Nebraska athletics, college sports, and your favorite pro sports leagues. This is Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket, sponsored by Canopy Street Market. Here are your hosts, Harrison Arends and Derek Pearson.
Welcome everybody in. Nick Whyman, Harrison Arends rocking with you for another 2 hours. Well, I'm here for another 2 hours. Harrison here for one more hour. He's paid his dues.
We'll give you an hour.
I paid your dues.
You got a lot of me on Friday, so.
That is true. That is true. Late Night in Lincoln, Nick Whyman here, Harrison Arends. 402-464-5685. Harrison was saying it's a little chilly out. And I've seen you in shorts in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over. No shorts.
Once you consistently hit below freezing. Well, that's not true. If it was 50 degrees tomorrow, I'd bring it back out. But yeah, hopefully everyone's staying warm. On the bright side, I think, we made it out of the bad weather for the most part.
There's a little chance for trace to inch of snow.
That's fine. I mean, a dusting, I'll take a dusting.
But you're acting, and there's a chance for snow on Sunday, allegedly, but
For me, it's just the temperature.
The high over the next 6 days is 33.
Yeah.
And that's not the feels like. So that is good old Nebraska winter right there. We never know the end of it. Usually you get to March and you're like, it's 50 degrees and then it snows one of those days.
I apologize for talking about weather all the time, but it's a Midwestern thing. I know you guys all love it too.
This is something.
I think it's a Midwestern trait to constantly talk about weather.
It's a conversation starter. I feel like that's one of the.
But in California, I think they'll be like, "What do you mean? It's 72."
I mean,
it's always 72.
Yeah.
When you ask me about the weather,
It's a Nebraska thing. I think it's a.
I think Midwestern.
It's a good way to spark a conversation. Like if you and me didn't know each other, probably one of the first 5 questions we talk about is the weather. I'd say. If we didn't know each other, like, what are your thoughts on the weather?
Oh, it's different enough too. Up north we got 3 inches, 4 inches. Oh, down south, whatever. Well, I guess it wouldn't be southern. It's all the same accent, but
I guess you're acting like Nebraska is completely different than
the people are.
I mean, yeah, that's true. It depends where you go. But we're here to talk about basketball for this first segment. We'll start. We've had about 24 hours to digest what happened up in Ann Arbor. Nebraska falling for the first time this season, ending their long winning streak that dated back to last season, handing their first loss of the season, 20-1 now. I still am amazed how much positive there is out of it. Usually you lose a game like that. There is obviously people are going after the officiating because the foul discrepancy. But for the most part, I would say people are pretty positive about what came out of a loss. As positive as it can be out of a loss.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, that is the only thing that could have been better was the win. Otherwise, everything else went probably as good as it could have gone, considering all the factors. My mindset hasn't changed at all. I thought the refs were bad. I won't go through the entire spiel. Refs were bad. The Huskers lost. 2, maybe one played into the other, maybe didn't play into it as much as we would have liked to think. But you looked awesome. You were down 2 starters. You led a number 3 team in Michigan for all but a minute and change on that. Unfortunately, that last minute and change was the only time Michigan took the lead. Again, definitely on the lead game bucket on getting the lead for Michigan. I thought it was definitely a charge. It was a no call, whatever. But Huskers couldn't make enough shots at the end. And I think a lot of that was their legs weren't underneath them. Guys get back healthy, more rested. I'm not looking at this Illinois game like, now that the bubble's bursted, I'm really nervous. Like, I think this team still has the same energy. I don't think they're scared of anybody.
I mean, yeah, rink mass, illness, Braden Frager injury, each missed the game.
Hoiberg, a little bit of illness too, and he played 39 minutes.
I mean,
you're talking about your little tiny cold here in the studio. Hoiberg,
I'm not the one who got rink mass sick.
Excuse me, I think it was a shoulder for Hoiberg.
It was a shoulder injury, and he was calling the women's game tonight. We'll get into the women's game, but he was on the call for the women's game once again over at PBA tonight. So no sickness, rink mass, the flu. I'm putting up flu game numbers as we speak here today. No, I'm not taking
flu hours.
Flu hours, yeah. I get. That's a good way to put it up. But it's that time of year where everybody's getting sick. It's cold and the weather is just miserably cold. I mean, you were here last week and you said it was dreadful. But you're missing 2 of your best players. Second road game in 4 days, and Nebraska had to use a 7-man rotation against arguably one of the top teams in college basketball. And I mean, Nebraska led 36 minutes of that game too. I think that's the part that stings the most is they were ahead for a long time. I mean, Jamarcus Lawrence was on fire to start 16 of the first 31, and then things just cooled off. Only 22 points in the second half as a team, and I think that's what stings the most is you were right there. If they would have lost and we're just kind of playing from behind the entire time, I don't think it would have stung as much. It's like, well, we were down. Nebraska was down 2 guys.
I think it would sting more if we got blown out, because then be like, boy, we really can't afford another injury
or a sickness or whatever. I think that's the thing that you can take positive.
I think most people felt pretty good.
Exactly. I mean,
it was a heartbreaker, but any loss would have been a heartbreaker when you're 20-0.
I mean, if
that makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Nebraska shot 59% from the field in the first half. Both teams were on fire in that game, and Michigan shot 65.5% from the field in the opening 20 minutes. Imagine if they would have kept that up, because both teams, it was 50-48. It was looking like it was going to be an NBA score.
Yeah, and then both offenses went cold. I know we talked a little bit yesterday. Nobody shot the ball great in the second half. The difference was Michigan was able to shoot more free throws. Whether rightfully so or wrongfully so.
Depends.
Putting that caveat in there.
Depends how you look at it. But
they weren't really doing anything on offense either. I will say it was a really good defense from Michigan, and I thought a really good defense from Nebraska. Like, if you like good defense, That was kind of a masterclass, and especially for how undersized Nebraska was. That was pretty gritty defense, be forcing those guys into consistently contested shots. Like, look at this size disadvantage on that roster, and all Michigan was able to get in the second half was mostly contested shots at the rim, despite having the triple towers out there that Michigan does have in that lineup, or having great 3-point. Well, I shouldn't say great, but decent 3-point shooters. And all they got for the entire second half was contested shots. Another reason why, I feel really good about this team, especially what Lenser's done. You had Michigan scrambling for offense, despite having pretty much a height advantage on everyone across the board. They were struggling for offense. Like, that's a very good sign to me.
I also taken the fact that you're on the road, you're playing. It wasn't even a sold out crowd there at Michigan. I don't know if you saw it, but it's like
it almost looked like California Lakers game,
where it's just
like it doesn't fill up until like late into the first quarter.
But it's a top 5 matchup in college basketball. You'd assume that would just
it was weird
sell. Like,
have you been to Ann Arbor?
I've never.
I was gonna say, it's like that tough to get to the arena.
I don't think it would be.
Nick Sainer sent a picture like 7 minutes before tip off, and it was like
that's the picture I'm referring to. It was like, I mean, they were loud, obviously. Like,
it eventually got.
So did you see the student section? What the like student section cards they gave out to the student sections?
Yeah,
they it's like poked fun at like each player of Nebraska's starting lineup. It's like, here's what. You have to cheer, but they also put like a thing. It's like, be respectful. Obviously,
it was kind of funny.
It was pretty funny. I like that you have a little playful banter. There's obviously a fine line you can't cross, and they didn't. They had a fun time with it. And credit to the Wolverines. I mean, I take anything. The refs, the foul discrepancy. I'm not taking anything away from them. They found a way to win, and they are. They only have one loss as well. And rightfully so, because they very tall team. They know what to do. They've been in situations like this. Penn State, they nearly lost to Penn State, and they found a way to win. It hasn't been like what it was against Gonzaga early in the year. No, but they're finding ways to win. I'm going to say, I don't think this is the last time Nebraska and Michigan are going to play this year.
Big Ten championship,
Big Ten tournament, depending on seeding, because Purdue
Final Four.
Yeah, you could look that far. I mean, we don't want to look too far ahead, but for them to hang with the Michigan team down Frigger, down Mast, shoulder injury to Hoiberg, and so be it. This proves that this team belongs in the running for a championship contender team.
I think nationally it does now.
I mean, because
it does kind of start off that, right? Like, that was the biggest takeaway I had. The Nebraska's odds to win the title have went up, ironically, despite having their first loss. Like, nationally, that loss, I'll sort of stop saying loss, because it was the effort and the closeness of that game. So the effort those guys put out there made them more respectable than ever nationally. I think locally we were all bought in that this team's legit.
I think this is nationally. This is where people say, okay, this was, they were 10, 11, 12 point underdogs per odds, which take that with a grain of salt. I'm not a betting person. Do whatever you want with your money. I don't care. Legally, exactly. But for them to see that and say at that moment, it's like, oh, the money's on Michigan to win this game easily. And Nebraska showed that they can hang around despite down 2 of their top 4 scorers. They can hang with the best of the best. I'm curious to see once you get into the big dance, obviously, what that looks like. Because probably a 2 seed now, I would say. Maybe a 1. It all depends on what happens with the.
You got Illinois and Purdue. There's opportunity to take, but I'd definitely be number 1 if I can talk.
It's a tough. It's gonna be tough to get a 1 seed. I still think, just because,
of course,
it always
just mean with what's left on the table, they'd have to pretty much win out,
and then you have
or be really close to winning out, and make sure those ranked opponents you're taking down and doing it with some convincing fashion, and maybe one of those.
Mm-hmm. There's opportunity. You said, like, so in front of Nebraska right now, as the AP poll came out on Monday, you have Arizona, obviously one of the 2 undefeateds right now, number 1.
Close to they almost lost to BYU.
Yeah, but BYU's good.
We beat them. What are you talking about?
Exhibition. I'm not, I mean, that was cool at the time. I'm not going to take too much stock.
On a quick side note, though,
go for it.
That was a pretty good reflective moment. I remember, like, that kind of started there. It was like, well, guys, come on, it's preseason. It's like, I know, but we did kind of take it to him, which was impressive. I don't know.
90-89 was the final.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if Noah Vedral, Banks, and the boys were doing that back in the day.
No, I mean, I remember when they scheduled that game, everyone's like, oh no, they're playing BYU, and
why do that at the beginning of the year? It's just going to kill the confidence of the guys.
That was kind of an eye-opening moment for them. And
but nobody bought in. And it is kind of ironic. You look all the way back now.
But Arizona's Arizona basketball. They've done it since the beginning of the year. They beat Florida, who was the defending national champions, single-handedly right off the bat. UConn 19-1 entering the week at number 2. Michigan, obviously, number 3. And then Duke is ahead of Nebraska. So there's a small margin for error to grab a 1 seed. That's just every year, I would say. Nebraska's just never had this. We've never had this conversation about Nebraska being like,
No.
So it's like,
I don't know if anyone in their 70s or 80s has ever had this conversation.
It's going to be tough. And then the resume, if they have the quad wins, they're going to look at it and see, oh, maybe Nebraska does deserve a number 1 seed. That's also a conversation that's going to be had in about 5 or 6 weeks from now, Selection Sunday.
We'll see how the Big Ten shapes up too, probably. Like, I'd imagine the Big Ten's respect is always, I don't know if I've asked you, it's like, where does the Big Ten set in conferences when you come to ranking the conferences
in basketball?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say number 1 just because I see the most of them, but it's such a hard question nowadays with all the turnover in the conferences now. Like I liked the Big 12 before when Kansas was really good, but now Kansas is kind of,
I know
they're not as good. And then, but Arizona's good. BYU is good.
I think the Big 12, Big East has definitely fallen off.
The Big East used to be
just loaded.
You'd have like when Georgetown was really good and Marquette a couple years ago.
Villanova was giving it to
Villanova,
was Creighton,
UConn.
obviously.
I mean, even years ago when like Syracuse was in the Big East. I remember like Syracuse do you remember that?
Yeah, they used to be awesome.
Syracuse, Johnny Flynn. Do you remember Johnny Flynn? He was an NBA bust, obviously. He was one of the guys
picked. Like 11, 12?
It was like too early? It was the year Steph Curry was drafted. It was like 2009 or whatever. But the famous Johnny Flynn, he was drafted before Steph Curry. I believe. I'm going to look this up.
I think you're right.
Johnny Flynn was one of the guards that was taken, and then,
To be fair, no one thought Steph Curry was going to be that good yet.
Steph Curry.
But he did have that David City run where it was magical.
Yeah. So the 2009 draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves famously passed on Steph Curry, selecting Johnny Flynn. They picked Johnny Flynn 6th. Okay. And they picked Ricky Rubio at number 5, too.
Ricky Rubio was nice, but not better than Steph Curry.
He wasn't he was nice. So we're getting off topic here, but
that's a fun one to go back in that draft order, though.
Do you remember when I'll talk about the NBA in the top of the hour, but I might go reflect on this story. So do you remember when the NBA came to Lincoln for a couple of preseason games?
Like I don't think so because I wasn't in Lincoln most likely.
So like 20, they did for 2 games, and I went to both of them. It was Bulls Mavericks when Doug McDermott was on the Bulls. I got Devin Harris and Wesley Matthews autograph at the time, and Doug McDermott hit a game winner in a preseason game in Lincoln
at the bomb
at PBA.
PBA. What year was this?
Like 2016, 2015.
Okay, so I just missed it.
And then the next year, the Timberwolves played the Nuggets. This is when both teams were not good.
Yeah,
it was a young Karl Anthony Towns. However, the Nuggets had a young duo of names Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, who at the time were just, this guy just came from Michigan State, and this guy's some Serbian guy who was picked in the draft who was kind of unknown. So at the time, those 2 guys were.
Did he look good?
Or it was preseason, so like, Zach LaVine was still on the Timberwolves. This is a long time ago. I got Zach LaVine's autograph at that time too. I have it somewhere.
Nice guy.
I remember because so I had a conversation before the game. I was sitting like I don't know how PBA, like how it's set up to describe. I was like right where the tunnel.
Yeah.
And Zach LaVine signs thing. I'm like, Zach, you got any dunks tonight? And he's like, I'll get you something. And then he threw down a dunk, and I was like, oh, he promised. It was like a breakaway in a preseason game. And
hey, that's a fun guy to watch.
He played like 1 quarter because it was like, the rosters are deeper, but that's when the NBA was here in Lincoln. Then they never came back. I had some games in Omaha.
Yeah, I know they had stuff in Omaha. I missed that they ever did stuff in Lincoln. That's a bummer. I just missed it. So was it 16, 17 they did it?
It was one. When we come back from break, I'll find it here. But I remember Doug McDermott hit the game winner for the Chicago Bulls in a preseason game. So, and that was like right when he started with the Bulls, which was like, it's preseason, so it doesn't count. But it was like, the local guy. Here it is. I got October 23rd, 2015, 103, 102. Let's see some names here. We can talk about the women's hoops in the next segment. Dirk played. Zaza Pachulia.
Yeah.
Raymond Felton. Those are some of the starters. Darren Williams, an old Darren Williams. That's the Mavs, and Wesley Matthews. That was a starting lineup for the Mavs. Mind you, this is preseason, so like obviously some guys. So John Jenkins, do you remember John Jenkins? He was a Vanderbilt guy.
No, you lost me on John Jenkins. This is my friend. I can't remember him at all.
Off the bench, he had 13 points. JJ Barea was there.
Yeah. Oh, JJ Barea.
So like, there's a bunch of Dwight Powell, Jeremy Evans, the guy who was in the dunk contest with the Utah Jazz a couple years prior. He was there. Charlie Villanueva. There's some these role players. So the Bulls starting lineup this game. This is when the Bulls were kind of in a. They weren't like contenders.
They were just still bad. I mean, they're kind of always in the middle of that.
So Kurt Heinrich was still playing.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose was still on the team. I remember we were talking about it. And it was like, oh, Derrick Rose might play. This would be sick to see Derrick Rose because it was after he had the injuries and he was kind of sort of coming back and he may play in a limited role. He ended up not playing, but he had Kurt Heinrich, Tony Snell.
Yeah, Snell was nice.
Nikola Mirotic, a young Jimmy Butler, who's Jimmy Butler the third per the stat sheet. This is like a young Jimmy Butler. And then Pau Gasol was on the Chicago Bulls. I barely remember that. So
holy smokes, I forgot we ever had Pau Gasol.
So Taj Gibson, Doug McDermott scored 5 points a night, and the one was the game winner.
Of course.
They put him in. I mean, it's preseason game. They probably drew it up and got him the home, he played at Creighton before that for several years. Derrick Rose did play. He played 8 minutes off. They played 10 minutes.
Like the most Bulls roster ever.
10 minutes off the bench, 8 points. Joakim Noah played 20 minutes that game. We got Etuan Moore, Aaron Brooks, a young Bobby Portis after he was in Arkansas. Man, this was a game. The Mavs went 0-7 that year in preseason, which I think they still did better than the Bulls that year. But what a crazy time. So they should bring an NBA game back here. And there's a lot of Huskers who are in the NBA now. Bring like the Pelicans here. You can get Bryce McGowan can play another game at PBA.
I mean, we'll go watch it. I don't even know. I would. I mean, you guys are hosting Brooklyn Nets games, and like people in Brooklyn aren't even really going to those games.
Yeah, get a game like the Pelicans and
send us the Brooklyn Nets and
the Pelicans. Bring them in a preseason game. And
Hornets are hot right now, so you can't tell them to send the Hornets. I think Hornets they're winning a lot of ball.
I mean, at the time, the Timberwolves. That was the Timberwolves and Nuggets at the time. They were not good teams, and then you flash forward a couple years later. I'm like, oh, I saw Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic before they were, NBA All-Stars and playing in an NBA Finals, which is crazy to say because at the time it was just Jamal Murray, first round pick, obviously, and he was really good at Michigan State, but
regular season he still never really did anything. It wasn't until playoffs that Jamal Murray hit those Jamal Murray numbers. It was like, whoa, but regular season he wasn't even doing that.
And then Jokic, I mean, I remember
drafted over the Taco Bell commercial.
Exactly, and this guy's a rookie guy during this game, and he comes in and. I mean, I can't even recollect seeing him during that game. I just can't.
A lot of people didn't know who he was. I'll never forget. It's like one of his first. I think it was like his first bucket or one of his first buckets. And like nobody knew who he was yet. The announcers are like, "Boy," and they're just letting anybody score now. I was like, "What does that mean?"
Thinking of that,
just shaming you. You have no idea. This guy's gonna be one of the best players of all time, and they're just letting anybody score because it was kind of a Jokic shot where it was like a crazy. Kind of hierarchy.
What we see today.
Yeah, see, he kind of probably sounds like, geez, that's fluky. And hence the line, just letting anybody. And it was like, no one knew it yet, but that guy was going to be an absolute menace to the rest of the league for years.
Before we go to break, we mentioned before the NBA players, before they become superstars. Do you remember? So when Giannis was a rookie, the Heat were playing him, and the announcer completely botched Giannis.
Oh, I can't. What did he even call it?
He's like Akintokenboo.
I think it was like Akintoken.
He's like Akintokenboo for 3.
To be honest, I'm looking at that, and
I see that clip every so often. I'm like, I have to watch this. It's like the funniest thing.
I'm just saying the man passes it to the man, shoots it.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I'm not saying his name.
At that point, I don't know. I didn't know how to say his name for the longest time, but he's in the news. We'll get to that later in the show, but man, what a time. We'll talk about Nebraska women's basketball next time. We were meant to talk about this first thing, but man, this is late night Lincoln. We get off the rails, and once we dive down the NBA
rabbit holes.
Before we go to break, NBA, bring a game back to Lincoln. I will attend. I went to the first 2 in the 2010s. I will be there for the next one. I promise.
Hopefully they bring
Anton Tokenboo versus Bryce McGowan. Make it happen, folks. I will be right back. Late night Lincoln, Harrison Arns, Nick Whyman.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
Way out there where the sun comes up under the big red sky, I do life the way I love, with family by my side. I feel home with me, no matter where I go.
Proud of where we're from, excited for where we're going. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Just got new tires put on my car today.
You did? I didn't see you leave the office.
I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off and they were done.
You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service?
That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
So as women, we're so hard on ourselves, and I just wanted a simple way to feel confident again and to feel like me again. And the Spectrum 7 at Max Tan gave me that little spark back and can also give it to you too. A full body light that makes my skin and my spirit feel brighter.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Harrison Arons and Derek Pearson.
Welcome right back. Late Night in Lincoln, Nick Whyman, Harrison Arons. We just got down a rabbit hole of NBA preseason games in Lincoln that have happened before. And we talked a little bit about the Bulls and Mavs before, and I wanted to recap just the last one that was the Timberwolves-Nuggets game. During the break, we looked at some photos of young Nikola Jokic and young Jamal Murray playing guys like Andrew Wiggins. The final score of the game was 105-88. Timberwolves got the win. I went to both games, so I remember the crowd difference. You know, the Bulls one was pretty full from what I remember. This one was not. I mean, you can see in the photos, the crowd's pretty empty. Kenneth Faried, Jokic, Jameer Nelson, Jamal Murray, and Wilson Chandler were the starters for the Nuggets. This is also like Nuggets like uniform. Like they just recently changed from the Carmelo Anthony uniforms and had this weird stage where they wore like a baby blue with like a gold.
It was ugly.
It was ugly. And they only wore it for 2 or 3 years. And then they switched over and now they're wearing what they wear today. And then the Timberwolves, this was after Andrew Wiggins was traded. You know, he was picked by the Cavs, got traded for Kevin Love in that trade that brought Kevin Love to Cleveland, and the rest is history. Andrew Wiggins, Gorgie Jang, Karl-Anthony Towns, Ricky Rubio, Zach LaVine was the starting lineup for the Minnesota Timberwolves that game. Leading
so much hope for Ricky Rubio.
I did too. He was supposed to be like the next. He was supposed
like
to
nationally.
He was supposed to be like the Luka before Luka.
Yeah,
essentially.
And turned into just a pretty okay player.
He was okay. He was a good role player. He was around for a long time. So the leading scorers for Minnesota during this game were Andrew Wiggins with 18 and Shabazz Muhammad with 18 off the bench. Man,
everyone's favorite.
What a name. I mean, he was good at UCLA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's just some names. There was no Nebraska ties to their, I mean,
who would have thought?
Doug McDermott didn't have any Nebraska tie. You know, the state. He played in Creighton just down the road.
Yeah,
in Omaha. That counts. There was no Nebraska ties. Tom Thibodeau's first year with the Timberwolves as well.
Man.
So and that feels like a long time ago, but it really wasn't. This was only, 10 years ago still. And then some of these guys I grew up watching in the NBA. Nuts times.
Hey, it is really a good realize how old you're getting. Because like you think about that, you're like, man, that was a while ago. And it's like, oh, that was Jokic's first season.
Yeah, and he's been in the league forever, a couple MVPs.
And now he's like, everyone's like, of course, it's Jokic. He's incredible.
Maybe another one. 402-464-5685. We just got done talking about the NBA and nostalgia when preseason games in Lincoln. Bring one back. I'm officially starting the committee of one.
We're a basketball city now. We'd actually go and watch because we might have some guys to send to you.
Exactly. So let's go to Nebraska women's basketball. They just played a game tonight down the road at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Got a win against Illinois a couple days ago, right back at home. 89-73 victory over the Wildcats. Just nice to get in the win column. They had a couple tough losses to Wisconsin, Michigan State over the past couple of weeks. Britt Prince, 28. Just another showing for her. And
efficient 28, I think, on top of
10 of 15, 6 of 6 on free throws. I mean, Nebraska led throughout pretty much. Northwestern put a little bit of a rally in. There was a 20-point deficit at one point in the fourth quarter. Northwestern kind of put a little bit of, not really a rally, just kind of cut the deficit. Yeah. But at that point,
they made a couple. We missed a couple.
And Nebraska, 2018 in that quarter, the rest of the quarters, Nebraska pretty much dominated. Nebraska really big first half, 28-17 in the first quarter, and then just kind of used that lead to pull away. So nice win for Nebraska. 16-5 on the season, back to 500 in Big Ten play.
Is that a couple wins straight?
2 in a row.
Yeah, Illinois. Now this one right here. Yeah, nice for those guys to just string a couple together. Because to your point, tough ranked losses, Iowa, USC, UCLA, like those weren't, especially the UCLA game. UCLA is really good this year. They'll give everybody some fits at the very least, but yeah, I mean, it looked good. You got to see the bench get a little bit in there, and then also it's nice to see Britt Prince just kind of have that game where she's the best player on the court, and it doesn't really look close. You don't like leaning on a sole talent, but it's nice to have players like that, especially if you're one of those teams that feels like they got a chance to make some noise in March. Like, it's good to have a player that you can rely on to get some of those tougher shots. And I think she was pretty lethal from the 3-point line today as well. I don't think she missed a lot.
She meant 2 or 3 from 3. Maya Hartgrove was probably the second person behind Prince. She
talked about her earlier. She's been playing.
She's playing better. Second double-double of the season while making her first start of the year.
She did finally break the starting line.
Coming off the bench, earning her stripes. And we talked about her last time they played a road game, the Michigan State game a couple weeks ago, and how she's providing a spark and being able to add something because they need another layer of offenses. Britt Prince was by far the best player on the court. But as you know, in basketball, one person doesn't make a team.
They're sharing the ball well too, but to your point, someone just need to be more aggressive on taking those shots.
So Jessica Petrie also missed the game due to illness. So I told you something's going around, man.
Rink?
Everybody's blaming Rink Mass.
Rink Mass
So I'll play a little spoiler here. So tomorrow, if things line up, we might have some special guests here on late night. It'd be the first athletics guest, potentially. I'll put student managers of the Nebraska basketball team potentially being here. That'd be really cool.
You got to grill him on like what happened versus Creighton. The manager's game versus Creighton.
So one of the guys also was texting me. It may not happen. I will say that I'm not promising they will be here. One of them has been feeling a little under the weather. So
thanks, Rink.
He might be the guy. Either this manager got Rink Mass sick, and he's the one to blame. I'm not.
And we'll all grill him tomorrow. From 10 to 11.
10 to 11, 11 to midnight. I think shame. It's shame.
Yeah, we can shame him. No, hopefully take your vitamins, guys. It is going around like crazy. It's nuts how many people are sick. I'm disgusted when I walk outside because I'm worried about getting sick again. There's a lot of germs going around.
Yeah, Nisley also in this game for Nebraska in the 89-73 win. 14 points, 4 of 6 from 3. So a collective unit, you can see Nebraska's potential. I think this is what this game kind of does. Northwestern, not the most intimidating opponent, I will say. Nebraska was pretty much in charge from they've only won 8 games, 8-13 on the season. So Nebraska just kind of handled business. But to have multiple scores reaching double figures, it's nice to see. Just to see you can be able to close out a game too, because they've had some games where you've been on the brink of losing, on the brink of winning, and the ball doesn't roll your way, and they've had a lot of those recently. So just to get a W in the conference play and get past it is nice to see, especially with this group who has, they don't really have a bad loss. I'd say Wisconsin's probably their worst loss. But outside of that, it's all ranked teams, and the Big Ten Conference and women's basketball is ridiculously good. I mean, the SEC's got South Carolina, who is
always been a powerhouse.
Always good.
How's LSU this year? I know that team seems like it was kind of up and down over the past few seasons.
I'll pull up the rankings here, but obviously the Big Ten Conference took a little bit of hit when Caitlin Clark left. That was a big draw, no matter how you look at them. Iowa basketball, I liked it from my point of view. I liked that she was a draw. Like, did I cheer for Iowa? No, but I liked watching her.
That was
play.
good for the sport.
It was good. I mean, the ratings showed what it was. The rankings, I believe LSU is still good. Your SEC teams are all really good. Yeah, UConn's obviously number one. Side note about them tonight. So they're playing Xavier. I don't know if that's tonight or tomorrow. So UConn women's basketball, I
think that's tomorrow.
So they're good. We all know that. I mean, oh no, it's tonight. They won.
Can I guess the spread?
So the spread was 59.5 points.
59 is a lot. I'm going to say they did not cover, but it was close.
I'm going to do the quick math. Math is not my good subject. The final score is 97-39, 58 points. So they covered.
They did not cover.
I mean, well, Xavier covered the spread though. 59.5.
Yeah.
They helped cover the spread. But
yeah.
I mean, that's a crazy.
How does Vegas know though? You see what I mean by this stuff? That's unreal.
That's like on.
You said the spread was 59.5, and then it was
58. 58 was the deficit in the end, and I don't know how the game. Maybe it came down.
That's why I bring up those numbers. I know people. I'm never saying go gamble, guys. But it's kind of uncanny how good Vegas is at getting a 59-point spread as close as they did.
I mean, it's easy to win by that. When Allie Ziebel, one of UConn's players, she matched a record with 10 made 3-pointers. 10. She made 10 by herself.
Jeez.
That's UConn basketball. But Nebraska, nice to get back in the win column. They needed it. Conference play back to 5-5, 5-5 in Big Ten play. Not where you want to be probably, but no.
Yeah, it's pretty good though. I mean, it's not great, but good. Put yourself in a situation to go compete with. You got enough time left to go rack up some wins, and you don't want to give Northwestern there. I think that might have been their third.
The reason these 2 wins for Illinois and Northwestern were important because they have the meat of their schedule coming up here. They go on February 1st. They play at 5:00 at Ohio State, who's number 11. This is where we talk about the Big Ten Conference being a tough conference in women's basketball. They go at number 9, Michigan, on the 4th. And then 3 days later, they got number 16, Maryland at home. And then end of the year at Minnesota, home against a ranked Iowa team, Oregon, at Washington, who's just cracked the top 25, then Rutgers. So half the schedule left is against ranked opponents at this very moment as of January 28th. But
yeah, it's not getting any easier.
But the thing is, if you do win some of those games, your tournament likelihood and then depends how the Big Ten women's basketball tournament goes, could be sitting in a decent spot. And you want to be, they still do it where the top 4 seeds in each quadrant host. So you'd like to see if they are maybe close to home. Like maybe if they are a 5 seed, they play at the 4 and the 4 seed. I'm trying to think it would be. We're doing just some bracketology off the top of my head here. They'd have to get lucky though, because it'd be cool if they played close. Like if
Great made it.
I'm trying to think of a team who could host. That's close right now. Like if like a Baylor. Baylor's not close, but like Nebraska has played games in Texas before and go down there and win a game. Then you play them in the second round and beat them. Who knows?
Do you like that in the women's? Like, do you wish the men's do that, or do you like the neutral site?
I like the neutral sites. I think the women's game should adapt to that. I get why they do it, because the home team's going to show up, but I don't like it when, like, let's say South Carolina is a 1 seed and they're playing the 16 seed, who be it, some team from the America East wins their conference tournament and they're 59.5 point underdogs or whatever it is. And then the 8 and 9 seeds play, and it's, I know, I'm just throwing out teams here like TCU and Villanova. They're 8-9. The winner gets to play South Carolina, and there's nobody there. I don't like that. I get why they do it.
You think the neutral sites would be better?
That's the thing. I don't know. I think
you're kind of like on average, yes, but your big heavyweights you're going to miss out on. Like you're not going to beat that Iowa crowd or even a Nebraska crowd.
I know why they do it, but I just don't like it when you go to turn on the women's tournament and there's a South Carolina logo plastered on the court.
Yeah, it feels off.
It feels like the NIT.
I'm with you on there. I don't know what
like
the
put
best
the March Madness logos on the court.
That'd be a
so it looks more aesthetic, like it's a big deal.
You can just be a sticker
because it just looks like a regular season game.
I'm surprised they don't do that. I mean, every floor is going to be different. That's why. So
March Madness, they do it. They also play like NBA arenas majority of the time across the country. So
and the amount of money that goes into it.
Exactly. I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation that can be had. Real quick before we go to break. You talked a little bit about Raf. Bill Belichick, not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I haven't got to talk to you about this. I talked about it last night. My opinion is I just think it's crazy because regardless of how you think about the guy, Spygate, Deflategate, or whatnot, he still has the Super Bowls to back it up, not only as a head coach, but also assistant, and he's second in all-time wins. Yet, this guy's not just put in just because of pettiness, I would say.
It's kind of, I don't know. It seems like it, or maybe just some people doing way too much calculations when voting.
It's a mess right now.
One of the one arguments I've been hearing is like maybe how that stuff happens is like you have some people that have the ballot, and like you can only vote on X amount of guys out of the group. Okay, well, I'm confident that this guy's going to get voted on. Like he's a shoo-in. So I'm going to vote for this guy to give him a little, try to get him over the hump because I know between these two candidates, it'll be close. Like, and then somehow you end up screwing up the vote, or maybe the guy has 8 freaking Super Bowls. And he's considered one of the best. Like he's obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer. So either something screwy happened like that, where you have people assuming he's a shoo-in, so they vote for someone else to give them that boost that they maybe needed, or it's like Deflategate, the sign stealing. Which, if that's the case,
so is Tom
you're wrong.
So is Tom Brady not a first ballot Hall of Famer then?
Apparently not. If we go down this route,
we'll know in a couple of years. Because his last year was what, 20?
But they have the Super Bowls. They didn't take the Super Bowls away, so you can't, in my mind.
But if they're doing off the same, regiment off of Deflategate, Spygate, and I don't know, it's so weird. The NFLPA to come out with a statement and everything. It's such a messy. And you have former coaches and former players now kind of bashing everybody. It is
Tom Brady lit into him, and I know the NFL's like, because Tom Brady was
he's technically working for the Raiders, calling games. He's kind of in the Raiders.
Very respectable voice.
I know Jimmy Johnson, a former coach.
Patrick Mahomes went at him.
It's
Tom Brady. You had the GOAT quarterback, and then what is probably the best quarterback in the generation after him. Both say, "What the hell are you guys doing?" Not a great look.
I'm trying to think for any other like comparison in another sport what this would be like. I'm trying to think of like Pat Riley or Phil Jackson. Oh no, you're not a. You're not.
Phil Jackson. It'd be like Greg Popovich. He's
going to be a Hall of Fame. Like, I don't know. First ballot, I would say, he's, the Spurs teams, those teams overachieved with, they had guys like Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan. That was old. That was the basketball we grew up on, and it was fun to see those teams because they had a lot of really good role players, and they took down the Heat multiple times. And the Heat got him with one time because thank you, Ray Allen. But
Heat fan?
Ray Allen, yeah, that one time they were.
Are you a Heat fan?
I am a Heat fan.
Oh.
So like they were rolling out the trophy that one time for the Spurs, and they were like, "Oh, and here we go!" And then Ray Allen hits the shot in the corner. You don't remember this? When the Spurs
I remember this. I'm more bewildered that you're a Heat fan.
I am a Heat.
Why the hell are you?
So my first, I told this story on the air with somebody, but my first finals I saw was Dallas and Miami back in like 2006, 07. I was young. Dwayne Wade, he was the MVP that year.
Yep.
So I kind of
Dwayne Wade's awesome.
It was like old Shaq, one of the older Shaqs, one of the last couple of years. He was on the name. Jason Williams was still playing. Antoine Walker, Udonis Haslem before he kind of became a meme player. Those were kind of your starters for the Heat. An old Gary Payton was on that team, that Heat team who won the championship that year. So that is kind of how I became.
You're a Dolphins fan?
I'm not a Dolphins fan. I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm not a Jake Sorensen here.
And MLB?
Royals, just locally. Because basketball, we don't have any basketball ties here.
Hockey?
Don't care.
Okay.
Don't care. I watch the Stanley Cup, but I'll
and a
watch.
CFL fan.
Mix
Get us to break.
Mixed bag. Yeah, we're gonna go to break. We'll talk a little bit about some Husker volleyball news coming up here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
I love pushing hard at the gym, but the soreness after, not so much. I researched about what to look for in a good red light system, so I tried the Spectrum 7 at Max Tan. The full body red light relaxes and refreshes my muscles. It's part of my recovery routine, Max Tan.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. CWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Winter is upon us. Is your home prepared? If your furnace isn't keeping up or you've thought about replacing it, John Henry's has a new year, new unit special. When you purchase a select heating and cooling system from John Henry's, we will give you the furnace for free. There are also equipment and LES rebates up to an additional $850. This offer expires February 28th, so don't miss out. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give
John Henry's
a call or text today.
435-5555. Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Harrison Arons and Derek Pearson.
Welcome back. Late Night in Lincoln, final segment of this first hour here. Nick Whyman alongside Harrison Arons. We're going to get some volleyball news here today. Jalen Reyes, he's got been promoted within the program. Associate head coach for Nebraska volleyball. Head coach Danny Bisbee announced earlier this week. Pretty big deal, I'd say, because you keep him around. He's staying around for another year. Just completed his 8th year. That's a pretty big title to have. Shows your, he's kind of made his way up the program from where he started in 2018 to now he is now. And having a guy like that, you were in with him the other day. He had a show. What was kind of his reaction to when his kind of thoughts just in general about that? He was on the air, yesterday, Tuesday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
So what was kind of his general thoughts just about just getting his associate head coach and becoming sticking around for another year or how long he wants to with the Cornhuskers?
I think he was just very he didn't want to belittle it. He was very, very, very humble guy. But I think he was really just was appreciative of that just kind of says the amount of trust that Danny Busboom Kelly, kind of has in me after just 1 year, made him feel like, I think probably just respected, okay, people appreciate the things I'm doing here. I don't want to speak for him, but it's a huge deal. I'm sure he's.
That's cool because he was a John Cook guy throughout and somebody else comes in, Danny Busboom, obviously not an outsider, but an outsider for him because she comes in. He never really got to cross paths her in the coaching ranks.
Yeah, it just kind of shows you after 1 year, it's like, okay, the new coach also thinks I'm a very valuable asset. Not that I don't think he ever had doubts or anything like that, but it is cool. It says a lot, and he's been there 8 years. I believe it's going to be his 9th year. The guy's grinded for this program, and he's done a lot to put this program where it's at. I know he also does the beach volleyball, and I know they're getting ready for that.
Yep,
so he coaches that by himself. So he gets a lot of time, and it's the same athletes. It's not different women on that beach volleyball team. It's the Nebraska volleyball Huskers. So he does a good job getting all those players ready, and I think there's a reason those guys look sharp to start the year. Some of that does happen in beach volleyball, and on top of that, he knows how to recruit. He's a very, very good recruiter, and I don't think he's recruiting with false goods. What you're getting at Nebraska because he's helped to build it, or at least be part of the process. Obviously, John Cook, Danny, all these people before, but he's been now currently building it with them. So he's got a really good thing to tell these players when he goes to recruit them. So I think it makes sense for him to get that role. I don't want to say it really shocks anyone.
No.
Yeah. So congratulations, Jalen Rice. That's big for us. I don't think, with young coaches that are good, it's always going to be the thing of like, you want them to stay forever. Maybe he does. Maybe he wants something, head coach. We don't really know. And
that's
his
tells
choice.
Us. Yep.
Yeah. So it's just good to see that, hey, we know at least for now we got him for another year at Nebraska.
So in the press release that the university put out, they said, Jalen brings so much joy and energy to our gym every day. Danny Busman Kelly said his work ethic and passion for everything he does, whether it be coaching, scouting, recruiting, or beach volleyball, are hard to match. We are so grateful to have him in our program. So I think that just kind of wraps up what you just said about him. And that's awesome to see him around. Obviously, no players in the transfer portal. He's working with the same players. Beach volleyball season starts pretty quickly.
It's right around the corner.
Let me pull this up here. I think it's when's their first indoor.
And he's from Hawaii, so it makes sense for his background. And he's also, I think his dad was like a legendary coach, maybe beach volleyball or just regular volleyball. But
so their first Monday, February 23rd, they have a 9 a.m. start against Ottawa, Kansas, over at the Strength Complex, aka over there. And then Wayne State, they play a lot different teams than they do with the. Like it's very different.
You have to. I mean, there's not a lot. I think there's only like 4.
There's Arizona State, Arizona.
Yeah, there's not a lot of teams that play beach volleyball. It's kind of tough to pull off because it's tough to travel for a lot of times. And the reason it works out, I think, pretty well for us is, we just have a really committed program to volleyball. So any chance we can get better, we're usually utilizing it.
And you have the facility, and a lot of the teams they face are from either Texas, Arizona, or Florida or California, which makes sense.
Yeah, you got to go to the warm.
You have those
where
climates.
Sand is.
Hey, I mean, Nebraska does have outdoor sand. I've seen them practice outside before.
Not in the winter, though.
Not this time. I mean, it'd be mud to get through. So we're gonna send it to break here. Top of the hour coming up here. I will be rocking with you for one more hour. Harrison's gonna get out of here and enjoy the rest of his night. We got some more topics to talk about. Stick right with us here on Late Night Lincoln here on 93.7 The Ticket.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call
John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Is your furnace ready for the cold winter? Call the pros at Bryant. No matter what make or model, Bryant will perform a thorough heating check, giving you peace of mind, or steps to ensure a warm home throughout the season. Bryant also offers free second opinion heat exchange checks. Before you spend thousands on a new furnace, let Bryant check it free. Anytime you need furnace service or repair, just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This from Electrical Enterprises in Roca. For all of your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. We live in the land of the free thanks to the brave.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
It's been a busy day in sports. A lot has happened while you were up to your eyeballs in work. Catch up on what went down in Nebraska athletics, college sports, and your favorite pro sports leagues. This is Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Sponsored by Canopy Street Market. Here are your hosts, Harrison Ahrens and Derek Pearson.
Thank you, Harrison, for stepping in for that hour. Now he is out the door. GBR captain in the chat. Have a good night, Harrison. Yep, have a good night, Harrison. You enjoy yourself. Battling the flu here. You know, that's how we roll. This is what we do. Nick Whyman here, Late Night in Lincoln. One more hour left in this beautiful Wednesday. I said Tuesday. Days are just kind of mixing, everybody. On this Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. Last hour is the hour 2 of the show. First hour, we talked a lot about Nebraska basketball, the men and women. The men, 24-hour reaction about the loss to Michigan, ending their winning streak that dated back to last season, but came to an end on a 3-point loss on the road in Ann Arbor. The Huskers return home on Sunday to play Illinois. And we talked about the women tonight. Nebraska women's basketball picking up a home W over the Northwestern Wildcats. Huskers with a 2-game winning streak, as they have a stretch coming up against some more ranked opponents in the Big Ten. Big Ten plays no joke in women's basketball. There are a lot of really good teams, and Nebraska continues to try to find one of those. They've had a couple losses to some of those ranked teams like UCLA, Michigan State. They can find a win. They're going to have multiple opportunities coming up, especially against Ohio State on February 1st against the 11th-ranked Buckeyes. Also, we talked about Bill Belichick not being in the Hall of Fame. First ballot Hall of Famer. He will be in the Hall of Fame at some point. I just think it's I think everybody thinks it's crazy. He was not voted in as a first ballot Hall of Famer, having his multiple Super Bowls. Regardless of what happened, he's won 6 as a head coach, 8 as a total. Crazy. Then we went down a little rabbit hole about the NBA being the NBA having preseason games in Lincoln. Fun times as we recollect on those from about 10 years ago. And then Jalen Ray is named associate head coach in Nebraska volleyball, as they announced that earlier this week. 402-464-5685. Nick Whyman here at Late Night in Lincoln. Chat in on the Star Heyman Jewelers text line at 402-464-5685. Or you can comment on Facebook, X, YouTube, or if you're watching on Allo Channel 961, you can find a way to comment on there. You got another hour with me. You guys to drive the conversation as always. We have a couple talking points, but I will read your text and your comments as we go. GBR Captain in the chat says, how are the NFL Hall of Fame voters going to vote when Tom Brady is eligible for the Hall of Fame? Me and Harrison touched a little bit on that in the second segment in the first hour. How I agree. I don't know how they are going to vote. If they're going to vote Belichick like that, who was the coach of Spygate, Deflategate, etc., but won multiple Super Bowls, has the second most wins in NFL history. But you have a quarterback who's probably the most winningest quarterback in NFL history. Are people really going to hold grudges and not vote him as a first ballot Hall of Famer too? I don't know. It's a very, very good question, honestly, because we don't know. We don't know. I think he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He won games. He won 28-3 comeback. You name it. Regardless, he went to the Buccaneers and won a Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs, who were looking like a dynasty at that point, and they beat him pretty single-handedly during that game in Tampa Bay. And Tom Brady won with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after leaving the Patriots after 1 year. Won another Super Bowl. And that game kind of cemented him as the GOAT. There obviously were some doubters, but he kept winning. No matter where he went. New England did it for 2 decades. We all hated it. I wasn't a New England fan. I'm still not. But I appreciate greatness. And it was a dynasty that is going to be hard to reflect. They are back in the Super Bowl. A little different Patriots team, obviously, as we get closer and closer to the Super Bowl between the Seahawks and the Patriots. But back to your point, GBR Captain, he's got to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just like Bill Belichick should have been. It's crazy. It's a crazy conversation to have, and we could dabble on that forever. But it's a very, very good question that probably shouldn't be had. So this segment, I was going to touch on a couple topics. Let's start with Nebraska football, because it's always a talking point. Could be in August, could be July, could be January. Nebraska football in this state, always a talking point. GBR Captain, I'll read your question here real quick. Even the crazy people think it's crazy he wasn't voted in the Hall of Fame. It's pretty cool Tom and Bill going in the Hall of Fame at the same time. Yeah, that'd be really cool. That's the last thing I'll say about that topic. If him and Tom go in at the same time, all time heals all wounds. And then you have that moment, and we can kind of forget about this dark 72 hours with the NFL Pro Bowl, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Trying to get the words out here. Nebraska football schedule came out. A lot of talking points. We all knew they were playing Ohio, Bowling Green, North Dakota to start the year of 2026. But the Big Ten schedule got released. We talked a little bit about last night. I find it very interesting. The stretch of games, I know people are saying you got to go 5-0 to get to a bowl game. If you want to win those first 5 games, it's January. I don't look at that projections. Teams will be very different once you get to that point. Michigan State's a wild card right now. I don't know what to think of them. They're moving on from Jonathan Smith, bringing in a guy like Pat Fitzgerald, who has been an Achilles heel for Nebraska. And I don't want to say, oh, that's a win. Oh, that game isn't a loss. We don't know. I just find it very interesting. Nebraska's got the Michigan State game, Maryland game. Maryland at home this year after playing them on the road last year. And then Nebraska's got the opportunity of a lifetime mid-October, October 10th at home at Memorial Stadium, playing the defending national champions in the Indiana Hoosiers. It's going to be a very different looking Indiana team, obviously, but they're still going to be good. I don't think this year was just a fluke for Indiana. Last year, people thought that was their peak when Curtis Rourke and them got them to the playoffs and they lost Notre Dame. Like, oh, that's all Indiana football is going to be. They're going to make the playoff and not show up. Indiana beat teams like Oregon, Alabama, obviously Miami in the national championship. They belonged and they proved it. They were the best in the nation. Was it a good national championship? Yes, it was close. It wasn't like they throttled everybody, but they did Alabama and Oregon. Crazy. But that game, you're going to get Indiana at home. It'll be a marquee game now just because of what Indiana football has become, taking the college football world by storm. And then you go, okay, you got Indiana at home. However, 7 days later, Saturday, got to make the trip up to Eugene and go play with the Oregon Ducks. We're just a semifinalist in the college football playoff. Those are the two dates that when I saw the schedule release for the 2026 season, I said, man, they didn't give them any favors the bye week or anything. Like, then they get a bye week after the Oregon game. And then on the, home against Washington, which Washington was a good football team last year. But you don't know with the Damon Williams situation where he entered the portal and entered the portal at a very odd time for a lot of his coaches and teammates to find out. Ends up having to apologize and comes back. It's January. Obviously, that is a very weird topic. Conversation behind closed doors needs to be had between players and coaches there to kind of heal all wounds. But it's only January. They still have multiple months to get everything back on track. Quarterback going to have to earn the trust with his teammates again. And you're going to have, Washington's always been competitive. They've been competitive for the last couple of years, and it's a tough game. And Illinois, obviously, on November 7th, the month of November, Nebraska's had troubles in November for the last couple of years. There's no secret about it. They got 3 road games of the 4 games in the month of November. It's hard to win on the road in the conference. Nebraska will have to start out the month of November at Illinois and then go to Rutgers and Piscataway in New Jersey. But you can say, oh, he's a win. Chalk that one up as a win. I don't know. I don't know. You can't do that in the end of January in 2026 when they start playing that game several months from now. We don't know what depth charts are looking like, not only at Nebraska, but also at some of these schools they're playing. I'm just labeling what this is. Then they have their one home game in the month of November, home against Ohio State, which Ohio State has been to the college football playoff. They won the college football playoff a year ago. One of the 3 Big Ten teams, remind you, that have won the college football playoff in a row. They're coming to Lincoln at Memorial Stadium. That'll be another huge opportunity for the Huskers down the stretch to kind of get rid of those November woes that have kind of snake bitten them. And then obviously Black Friday, November 27th, Nebraska heads to Iowa City to battle the Iowa Hawkeyes. Nebraska blown out last year against Iowa in Memorial Stadium. That's the schedule. And that's all I can really say. I'm not going to say they're going to win 5 games. I'm not going to say they're going to win 10 games. I don't make that prediction. GBR captain here in the chat. Red-white game is going to be good to see. And then a lot of people have been saying that October 31st Washington game is going to be the blackout game. I said that the other night. I thought Halloween night, black and orange are kind of the Halloween colors. Saturday, October 31st against Washington. Maybe you get a night game. Honestly, if it's not even a night game, I would still do the blackout. Like if it's like a 2:30 game, it gets dark. It'll be dark around 5 o'clock usually. Fourth quarter will be dark. Do the blackout. Why not? There's a couple opportunities for that, but I would say that makes no sense. Halloween night, I don't know. I'm not going to go crazy and say get some orange decals on the uniforms, but I'm not in the uniform connoisseur position here. Yeah, GBR captain agrees. Halloween night, blackout. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. If that does become true, I will not take credit for that. It is just me just making up hypothesis about this blackout game. But I do agree. I'd like to see a blackout game Halloween night. You'd have to get lucky and get the scheduling right and get a night game. It'd be kind of cool. Even if it's a 2:30 game, I would do it. But those November woes are going to be interesting because the 3 road games, hard to win on the road in the conference. It'll be a tough test. Always is, always will be. And Nebraska's got to try to get rid of those ghosts of the past in November. It's just been far too long, and they're going to have to prove it. 3 road games in the month of November. Tough to win that time of year. Teams are banged up. It's how it is. Moving on from Husker football, I want to talk a little bit about the NBA tonight. There were 2 big storylines in the National Basketball Association. LeBron James played his probably his final game in Cleveland as the Lakers visited the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron, obviously, just a kid from Akron, got drafted there, played multiple years in Cleveland, jumped around, obviously, with Miami, then went back to Cleveland, won them a championship in maybe one of the most hardest championships to win. Won that one, goes on to the Lakers, plays maybe his final game in Cleveland. This could be his final year. We don't know. A lot of theories saying this could be his final year. People are making up trades for him. There's no way you trade a guy like LeBron. There's no way. GBR Captain Celtic fan, it sounds like in the chat here. I'm a Heat fan, so I can forgive you. I can forgive you for that, but some good playoff series between the Heat and the Celtics in the past couple of years. But LeBron plays final game in Cleveland tonight against the Cavs. The Lakers lose 129-99 as the Cavs roll to a win. LeBron, 27 minutes, 11 points, 3 of 10 shooting. Not a good performance, not a great performance either. Minus 23 in the plus minus. Luka led the way with 29. He did suffer injury for a bit in that game where the court is raised there in Cleveland, and he took a jumper and he landed wrong on it because the court is not up above the ground, and he stepped wrong. Returned to the game, 29 points. On the other side, the Cavaliers were led by Donovan Mitchell with 25 points in 29 minutes. Very efficient game from Donovan Mitchell to help the Cavs to win. Cavs now 29-20 on the season. The Lakers 20-18. I don't know. The LeBron situation is so weird because you'd think a guy of his stature would have kind of a retirement tour. You kind of assume it, but there really hasn't been. There's been a lot of noise around it, which tonight could have been his final game in Cleveland as a pro. He got emotional during the intros because this could be it. And the Cleveland Cavaliers paid tribute to him with a video tribute during the game. So, it's a historic moment if that is the case. No matter how you feel about LeBron, the LeBron MJ debate, I am not going to go down that. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because that is a conversation that I do not like. It's always going to bring up beef in some way, and it's an annoying conversation. And I don't want to talk about that at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday night. But LeBron's final game in Cleveland, 129-99 win for the Cavs. The other topic in the NBA is kind of a little bit with trade rumors. Giannis Antetokounmpo. We talked about how he was his rookie year. The Heat announcer, Akatokumbu, called him that. Me and Harrison laughed a little bit about that, how they kind of butchered his name as a rookie. Is this his final year in Milwaukee? And the trade, ESPN was reporting on Wednesday today that the Bucks are engaging with teams on possible deals for the two-time MVP. So a possible trade for Giannis would be historic. He kind of felt like a guy who could be around forever on the Bucks. GBR captain Ty Lue was the coach of the year team. Yep, he was. So Nebraska represent. And a big Pat Riley fan. Yeah, Pat Riley, legendary coach, wherever he's been. This Giannis situation is so weird because I remember when before he signed his contract extension, before 2020, it was like people were throwing out the Heat, people were throwing out the Raptors even before then. Then he signed his contract extension after he won his first MVP. And it seemed like, hey, this guy just won an NBA Finals then, too. He beat the Phoenix Suns, won the NBA championship for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I felt like this guy might be a lifer for the Bucks. The story was awesome. This guy, small, undersized, kind of, he wasn't as muscular, he didn't have as muscle on him when he came out of the draft. He was kind of a wild card. We didn't really know what to expect of him. I barely could pronounce his name when he first started playing the NBA. And look at him now. He's one of the top players in the league. And the Bucks are just they're starting to give up talks, Bucks having talks to other teams about their superstar player. Giannis is currently sidelined with a calf strain. Yeah, he was drafted in 2013. After Milwaukee's loss to Philadelphia on Tuesday, the Bucks are now tied with the Charlotte Hornets for the 11th seed in the Eastern Conference standings. With that, the Bucks would not make the NBA play-in tournament. So it's a very weird situation because the Bucks are not winning right now. They are on the outside looking in. Trade season is going to pick up as the month of February, the calendar turns to February. Things are going to start heating up in the NBA trade. We saw a little bit of it, but Bucks are right now tied for 7th place in the NBA draft lottery standings. And they're 3-12 right now currently without Giannis. So you take him away, NBA tanking obviously happens. They could be trading GMs, I don't know. Tanking is another story we can get into. Obviously, players are playing for checks, playing for money, trying to hit bonuses. The Bucks, if they trade Giannis, they're gonna. I don't see how that turns around unless they get a crazy return. Depending on the teams, I've seen some teams get mentioned, like the Raptors, the Heat, the Knicks. The Knicks have been mentioned with Giannis for years now. I don't know. It could be all noise. He could end up just not being traded. There were noise about Anthony Davis maybe getting traded, but he's hurt and sidelined. John Morant, there was noise about him maybe getting traded. He's also hurt right now. It's going to be an interesting NBA trade deadline as that approaches here in the month of February. Trade season so far has only seen one huge move, really. That was the deal that sent Trae Young to the Washington Wizards earlier this month from when he played with Atlanta. That was a very weird trade and still is. And we're just kind of waiting for that one big boom period where guy gets traded. I mean, I don't think we're going to see another Luka Doncic trade. Everybody remembers where they were during that trade. That trade was crazy because you think a guy like Luka, kind of like Giannis, was going to be with the franchise forever. And Mavs were just in the finals a couple years before that and then gets traded to the Lakers. Giannis is a guy I thought would be with Milwaukee his entire career. And he still might be. We don't know. This is all speculation, trade. The Bucks are engaging with other teams about the trade market for him. You'd have to throw in a ton of picks. This is a superstar player in the league. And he's an NBA champion. There's plenty of opportunity for the Bucks still. The season's still young. They are the 11th seed right now. It's just very interesting because he had comments earlier in the year that he wanted to, he wanted to stay there. But he did call out his teammates also for not playing hard and not playing to win, not playing together, and saying how the chemistry was off. So that was about a week ago. It's a very, very interesting time in the NBA because now you have the All-Star break coming up where teams are going to start trading guys. You have the trade deadline. And once football kind of wraps up, people start paying attention to the NBA and start paying attention to more of the, paying attention to everything. 8147 says, Heat fan, do you want to do it or do you think Pat does it? The trade for Giannis? This has been, Pat Riley's kind of sat on his hands and just kind of let the Heat roster kind of ride it out. I think they still do. I don't see how the Heat have had multiple opportunities to trade for all-stars. I mean, they have for several years. And Pat Riley's had a chance to make splashes in the past. Damian Lillard, that's one of them. Heat lucked out not making that one. Heat right now sitting at the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference standings. They would be in the play-in. They do have a funny schedule coming up. I'm mentioning the Miami Heat. They play 3 games in a row against the Chicago Bulls starting Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is the play-in game preview because those teams always play each other in the play-in. And if you look at the standings right now, the play-ins would be the 7th seed Magic against the 8th seed Heat. Let's say the Heat lose that game, which they did lose to the Magic tonight. The Hawks play the Bulls. Let's say the Bulls somehow beat the Hawks, which could happen. You get a Heat Bulls playing for the 8th spot, which happens almost every single year in this playoff format. And every year it's like the Heat blew them out last year, but the Jimmy Butler year, the Heat made the finals. The Heat were minutes away from losing to the Chicago Bulls. So I'm going to say the Heat do not make a move for Giannis. I might be wrong. You'd have to throw in a lot of picks and a couple of really good players. But I'm going to say they do not make that move because the Heat have had so many opportunities to make moves like that. I just don't see how they throw their name in there and finally make a move. GBR Kevin says, does he stay in the East? He said, Nick, where do you think Giannis lands? I mean, there's so many teams right now in the East. If he does stay in the East, like obviously the Knicks are a team that everybody's going to point out because the big market, the New York Knicks are trying to get over that hump and get back to an NBA Finals with the group they have. But I don't think they can break up the group they have. And I just don't think they can. A team I look at is like Toronto, maybe. Toronto's overachieving. Nobody thought they'd be a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. Maybe Toronto just goes all in and it's like, hey, we have a chance to land a superstar player. Let's go for it. And the Raptors have. They landed Kawhi Leonard That 1 year, it was 1 year, but it's a moment that Toronto Raptors fans, that was their moment. And they beat the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, injuries happened. KD got hurt, etc. But they won. And Kawhi Leonard, it was 1 year with that group. But they were able to do something that was impossible in Toronto for so long. I mean, if he does stay in the East, I look at Toronto, they'd have to probably throw in some guys. Detroit's got a very young team, but Detroit, I mean, you're 34-11. I don't think you want to throw something out the window. You're 34-11. Why screw it up? If Toronto landed him, it'd be very interesting because I could see him in the throwback Raptors game. They need to bring that back. Before we go to break here, we talked a little bit about jerseys, Nebraska blackout. The Raptors need to bring back. They do have the City Connect the city jersey with the Raptor on the front, but they need to bring back the purple one with the Raptor. That's an S tier jersey. Harrison, we talked about tier rankings. We might have to do a jersey ranking. We talked about video game characters, sports video. Who's the best video game character in sports, like a Tecmo Bo Jackson or like a 2004 Michael Vick. Might have to do a tier ranking at some point. I don't know if that's what everybody wants to see on late night, but we're throwing out ideas, and I think it'd be fun. We're going to go to break. When we get back, we'll talk a little about the Olympics. The Olympics are starting up here in about a little over a week, next Friday. We're going to talk about how winter versus summer, what is your favorite sport in the Winter Olympics? And hockey, how hockey is getting NHL players for the first time in a long time. 402-464-5685. Put in the chat, what is your favorite Winter Olympic sport or Olympic sport in general? We'll keep it open-ended. We'll be back here on 98.710. Nick Whyman rock with you.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic, February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it, February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
Just got new tires put on my car today.
You did? I didn't see you leave the office.
I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off and they were done.
You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service?
That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
I love pushing hard at the gym, but the soreness after, not so much. I researched about what to look for in a good red light system, so I tried the Spectrum 7 at Max Tan. The full body red light relaxes and refreshes my muscles. It's part of my recovery routine, Max Tan.
If you have a fence, patio, or landscaping project to complete this spring, Sunbelt Rentals is here to help with augers and auger drives in various sizes, plus electric concrete mixers. For tree trimming projects, they have a great selection of chainsaws, pole saws, and hedge trimmers, along with a towable lift or ladder to get you where you need to be. Sunbelt Rentals has everything you need to make your spring projects easy. Sunbelt Rentals, online at sunbeltrentals.com.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines. Now boarding. Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Harrison Arons and Derek Pearson.
Welcome everybody back. Late Night in Lincoln. Nick Whyman with you for another half hour or so. Been a fun show. Talked about a lot of things. Basketball, NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. Jalen Reyes, associate head coach, promoted to associate head coach at University of Nebraska for volleyball. We just talked about the NBA, a little bit about everything. Giannis, LeBron, maybe his final game. He said maybe it is. Maybe it is. We don't know. We won't know. That's his decision to make, but we talked a little bit about everything. A little basketball, a little football action, a little volleyball. That's what late night's for. 402-464-5685. Also chat in if you are on Facebook, X, YouTube, or if you're watching on Allo Channel 961. Talked about all those different sports. Let's talk about something that's coming up here in about a little over a week. The 2026 Winter Olympics. I'm a big Olympics fan. I know it's not for everybody. It's kind of like the World Cup. World Cup, I'm a big sports guy in general. Like I know a little bit about something about everything. That's what I do. Sports are my life. If you couldn't tell. So the 2026 Winter Olympics officially begin on February 6th, which goes till February 22nd. Will be in Milan. The games will feature over 116 events across 16 different sports, including a couple of new additions. I have just learned this from a quick Google search. I'm not, we learn as we go. We watch the Olympics. Ski mountaineering is one of the new sports. Interesting. I'll have to watch that. We'll talk about it on late night. Maybe if we find it interesting. I asked before the break, what were some of your favorite sports in the Winter Olympics or the Olympics in general? the Summer Olympics have a lot more sports that us American fans are used to. You know, track, basketball, baseball, and softball will be back in 2028. But usually our Olympic sports, you name it, badminton's easy to understand, tennis, you can understand that really easily. You see those sports on TV very often. The Winter Olympics, you don't see a lot of, bobsled, curling. Hockey's obviously the big one that everybody sees here in the United States because the NHL resides a lot of teams from this league, some in Canada as well. But it's interesting because it's sports that you see once every 40 years and you kind of get to know and see all these stories, people representing countries, not only in the United States, but across the world. And it's really fun to see. GBR Captain said some of his favorites are bobsled, luge, skeleton. Those, okay, we before I read the rest of the messages, those three kind of go together, all very similar. However, they're different by how they go down these hills and how they lay down. And some of them are teams. You lay in bobsled. Sometimes there are like two people in the same, I don't know how to describe it, but they go down this ramp pretty much at a very fast pace, which I don't think I know how crazy fast they're going until you really see it. Skeleton, luge are very, very similar. Timed events, they go down. Downhill skiing, yes, Lindsey Vonn is going to be competing. Comeback, that's a legendary American skier. She'll be competing in the Olympics. So that's a nice little story to watch. She likes downhill ski where they're flying down the hills at a very fast pace. It's 100 miles per hour. I don't know how fast they go, but it's really impressive how they keep their balance and be able to do all that because you can't just sports are hard and you can't just go out there and do it. I'm hyped for figure skating, not gonna lie. I watched the trials. Yes, that's one of the sports that's on TV. You see a lot of that. There's truly nothing like 8147. There's truly nothing like figure skating drama. Yes, that is it's a sport where hard to understand as well because we don't see it very often on TVs. USA is one heck of a team. It should be a very fun week. There's a very couple weeks. There's 2 weeks. It's going to go by quick. Enjoy it. Gold Zone on Peacock was a way to watch the Summer Olympics they introduced. It was like NFL Red Zone for the Olympics. During the summer, I kind of dabbled with it because the Olympics are going to be they're in Italy, so a little bit of a time difference to the United States. So the events will happen from probably 6 o'clock in the morning till about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So Peacock was the way to go because the Gold Zone would do like a wraparound coverage for you. They would flip to certain events. I remember during the summer ones, it was like we watched a guy break the record for high jump while like basketball game was going on in the screen. It was awesome to see. And those are moments that I mean, it's a historic feat in general, just the Olympics to be there and just to see that competition. You learn the stories, you learn the athletes, and you become a legend. My big topic on this Olympic topic is hockey, because hockey, obviously, but before we get into hockey, I wanted to talk a little about curling. Curling, awesome sport. Awesome sport. The university has a curling club. I know that. And I remember a couple of years ago watching the Olympics, they were like, yeah, we have a curling club at the university. And that's awesome. Like curling looks fun. Like you have the stones, you got to roll it, and then you got to mop the floor pretty much. That looks like a fun sport where you could like get around with the guys or girls and play the sport. It looks fun. You don't have to skate. They're usually just on shoes. You're not skating. So that doesn't add a factor. That would be much harder if you're skating while doing that. It looks like a fun sport to do. Just because you have the little targets. You have to have a certain amount of stones inside the circle. It looks awesome. I love watching it. USA had a team that won a couple of years ago during one of the Winter Olympics, and it was just a fun watching. But hockey, GBR Captain says that hockey is the ultimate winter Olympic sport for me, for most people, because it's just how it is. It's hockey. It's you see it on TV all the time compared to a lot of those sports here in the United States. But figure skating and all those teams is whatever. Yeah. 8147 says UNL curling is normally top 10 too. Yeah, it looks like a fun sport. I mean, it's probably hard. Like it looks fun. It's probably hard because one, you're on ice. I'd probably make a fool of myself and wipe out during it. But it just looks like a fun sport. You have the guy who, future guest idea. Yeah, we get the UNL Curling Club. You can get on here. We can, during the Olympics, if we can get the UNL Curling Club on the Olympics, that'd be fun. I don't know. I don't know anybody associated with it, but it'd be very fun. I'd like to pick their brain about how you get started and how the origins of getting into curling. Because my first time seeing it was the Olympics, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is a fun sport to watch. Hockey obviously is the main sport this year. Ice hockey, men, women have their own competitions. Men's tournament will have 12 teams competing, and the women will have 10. Group play begins on February 5th for the women. They will play even before the games begin, before even the opening ceremonies. So if you have your Winter Olympic buzz on next week, you can tune in and watch the tournament for the women's Olympic hockey tournament. Already starts that day before the preliminary round, the 5th through the 10th. The men's will begin on the 11th to the 15th. Quarterfinals for the women's, 13th, 14th, and the finals for both the gold medal match, the 19th of February for the women. The men's will be on the 22nd on the final day of the Olympics. This year is very big for hockey in the Olympics, as it is the first time since 2014 in Sochi that the NHL players are allowed to play in the Olympics. It has just been a couple of guys who have played not in the NHL. Now you have guys like Sidney Crosby suiting up for Canada. It's gonna be exciting. I don't have the rosters in front of me right now, but we saw it last year a little bit with the series that the NHL put on. And they're taking an Olympic break, obviously, starting next week. And then they're going to play in the Olympics, which, as an NHL person, as a franchise, it'd be like the NBA stopped their season and then played. The WNBA does that. But as a team, if I'm like, if my best player gets hurt in the Olympics, that's tough. Like that is hard. But that's just how it is. But the IIHF wanted the NHL to decide on the Olympics back in spring of 2024. They finally put it together. But last year they did the Four Nations Face-Off, which was a break in the season. Instead of doing an all-star game, they had Canada, USA, Sweden, and Finland playing a little global series in the United States. And it was really fun to watch. USA and Canada, the rivalry was there. Like, you could feel it watching that. If you're not even a hockey fan, it was the best of the best going at it, and NHL really benefited just from it. Not as an NHL fan, you probably didn't, it seemed like kind of a cash grab, which probably was, but it was cool to see. I liked seeing the USA be represented, Canada be represented, and let it be a very big competition. And now you're getting that at the Olympic level where you want to see. Imagine if the Olympics happened in basketball and the NBA players weren't allowed to play, or if in future years they're trying to get the MLB to play in the Olympics, which is kind of like the World Baseball Classic, which is coming up in a couple weeks. I'd like to see MLB players play in the Olympics. Why not? Yes. A147 says World Baseball Classic coming up soon. Yes. Some people don't like it. Edwin Diaz got hurt that one year and it derails the season, but you're playing for your country. It's just how it is. The NBA season, look at the NBA. For the NBA, those guys play, their NBA season starts in November, goes all the way till, if you go to the finals, it goes all the way till June. The Olympics start up in late July, August time. There's really no off season. I'm sorry. If you're playing sports, you're playing them year round, regardless of, downtime as an athlete. Like, you are a 365 days a year athlete, regardless of competition. So GBR Captain also says it does look fun, strategic about curling. It does. Curling and hockey. I'm excited. Winter Olympics coming up really quick. It feels like it'll be, so the Super Bowl will be on NBC this year. The Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots, not this Sunday, but the next coming Sunday. They will have Olympic coverage right after the Super Bowl, which is really neat to see. That's very interesting, because it's like, all right, Super Bowl's done, but you can get the Olympics right after. It's just a full day of sports. Like, obviously the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. It's going to draw regardless of who's in it. And then you're going to get the Olympics right after. It won't be live, but it'll be, you'll get it a couple days before too, because it starts on February 6th. Super Bowl's not till the 8th. Olympics. We might have to dive into a couple of those sports next week. Some of the new ones, obviously. What was it? Ski mountaineering. I'll have to look up what that is fully, because that sounds interesting. I'm assuming it's like mountain hiking, but it's like a race. I don't know, but it's the Winter Olympics, man. It is a fun time. There'll be a lot of sports going on. That is one. The World Cup, obviously, summer will be another huge gathering as well. So we're going to take our second to last break here before we send you off into the evening. When we come back, we're going to do some wraparound from today and just what's going on tomorrow across the sports world, along with what's coming on at the ticket tomorrow. Is we have some special guests lined up for a couple of shows. Stick around. You're listening to Late Night Lincoln, Nick Whyman here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Clear your calendar. It's a volleyball weekend in Omaha. Love Nebraska returns to Baxter Arena for back-to-back home matches on January 30th and February 1st, facing Love Madison and Love Austin. 2 matches, 2 chances to see your hometown team compete as the season heats up. Featuring Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson taking on the likes of Lauren Carlini and Maddie Skinner, and special moments throughout the weekend. This is your opportunity to catch all the action live. Make it one night or both nights. Get your tickets now at lobbneb.com/tickets.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today.
Every winter, I struggle with feeling sluggish and down. I've read about the benefits of red light systems, but trying the Spectrum 7 at MaxTan has become my bright spot. A few sessions of full-body red light, and I'm more energized and centered. It's my go-to winter boost, MaxTan.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. and coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the top-selling Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to help blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide smooth energy so you can cruise through the day. Home of free samples and better than internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Harrison Arons and Derek Pearson.
Welcome, everybody, back. We're back. One more segment here, Late Night in Lincoln, Nick Whyman. Really quick segment here. We're going to do some housekeeping. Tomorrow, special guest on Above the Noise with Ashley Mitchell. She'll be joined by Garth Glinsman. He's Associate Commissioner for men's basketball with the SEC Conference. He's a Nebraska native. He graduated from Waverly High School, and he's a Nebraska UNL graduate. He's previously served as the Vice President of Basketball Operations in the National Basketball Association. He played a key role with governance, rules, and competition before joining the SEC during 2023. So that is a very special guest. A Nebraska native will be on Above the Noise. That show will be tomorrow from 7 to 8 o'clock right here on 93.7 The Ticket. That's a very special guest. Local guy with local ties. He's small town high school. And now he's basically out and about with the SEC Conference. That's one of the special guests that'll be on air. We have another, we'll have a Beyond the Routine with Emma Spence. Obviously, your normal shows, Bach and the Black Shirt, early break kicking you off in the morning. Plenty of stuff going on across the Ticket dial. But that's all I have for you tonight. It was a fun night. We had 2 hours here. Should be here with 2 minutes. We might have a special guest. 2 of them potentially tomorrow night. One of them is feeling a little under the weather. I totally get them. Everybody's sick this time, rink mask included. We'll see you tomorrow, Thursday. Early break starting here at 6 o'clock in the morning here on 93.7 The Ticket. Nick Whyman signing off. See you guys tomorrow night and tomorrow on 93.7 The Ticket.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics.